the Marking Properties YouTube channel, where we talk about all things from how to sell your house quickly, how to sell to a professional cash buyer, and so much more. Here you'll find videos that are instructional, useful, and really helpful when it comes to navigating the ever-changing property market. So today we're going to be talking about the things that you need to consider if you're thinking about moving in retirement. So if you're ready, let's get to it. Moving home at the best of times is a very difficult and challenging process, and this is no exception when you're moving in retirement. There are things that definitely need to be considered, and there are lots of areas that you need to really do your research to make sure that this move is right for you. So we're going to give you 10 things to consider if you're thinking about moving in retirement. Number 1. Now there are many options out there when it comes to retirement: park homes, residential apartments, bungalows, holiday homes, caravans, retirement villages. There are all kinds of options out there to suit a wide range of budgets and circumstances. So we would definitely say get all of this information together and really sit and have a big think with your close family as to what option you think is right for you and your circumstances. It's very important that you think about if this type of property is going to cater to your needs, whether that is your social needs, your care needs, if that's relevant, any support needs that you may have. Again, moving is a very big decision, and you want to make sure that you're catered for in every sense of the word. You don't want any added stress or complications, especially in retirement. It's meant to be your relaxing time, a time for you, a time for you just to sit and chill. So you do need to make sure that it's right for you in any needs that you may have.
But it's absolute.
Number 3, and perhaps one of the most important things to consider is it easy for you to visit family, and is it easy for them to visit you? Retirement can be quite a lonely time for some. And it's very important, again, that you have access to family and friends when you desire. So you want to make sure that wherever you're moving to, whatever circumstance you're moving in, that you have access to friends and family if you should desire to have them visit, or if you should want to visit them. You need to consider the location, you need to consider how you'll get there and back, the affordability aspect of it. Is it going to be possible for you? Do your care needs restrict that? Do any special arrangements need to be made in order for you to travel back and forth? And the last thing that anybody wants to feel when they've retired or they've moved is isolated. So make sure that you consider if it's possible for family to reach you when you do want a little bit of extra company. Number 4, consider a long-term rent before committing. And again, this is something just to preempt any kind of discomfort that retirement may lead to. It's not easy for a lot of people. We all strive for retirement, we all strive for that time, but actually when we've got nothing to do or less to do, it can cause a lot of stress. So what I would definitely say is, before you make any type of decision, consider a long-term rent, check the area out, especially one that's seasonal, because it's very different when you go on holiday somewhere to actually moving in. So do your research, consider a long-term rent. It might be more money to do it that way, but you're avoiding a very expensive potential mistake in the long run. So consider a long-term rent, see if that's a possibility, so you can make sure that you're happy in your new home. Number 5, will the property be easy for you to maintain? So consider the fact that if you're not going to have someone that's going to be able to help you, whether that's a carer, a facility, family members or friends, are you able to maintain that property? Are you able to run it as you would like to live in it? So are you going to be okay cleaning it? Are you going to be okay maintaining the garden, maintaining any area of the house? It may seem quite obvious, but having a real think about how it's going to impact you and your day-to-day is very important. How are you going to spend your days? Especially if you're coming from a full-time working situation, it's quite a crash back down to earth when your days are used to being so busy and so full to actually not having much to do. So consider where you're moving to. Are you going to have things to do socially? Are you going to have things to do like yoga, like classes, anything that you can do that's going to, again, spark some joy, to keep you busy, to keep you motivated and happy and well? How are you going to get to those facilities as well? Are they provided if you were living in, for example, a retirement village? Are there places where you can travel to meet any needs that you have? Number 7, will you have access to any medical care that you need? This is very important, especially in retirement. As we get older, our bodies don't run quite like they did when we were younger, so it's inevitable that from time to time we will need some kind of medical intervention. You want to make sure that you have access to that. You don't want to make it difficult, especially if you're feeling poorly or unwell and you have to travel for miles and miles and miles just to see a doctor. Make these considerations, make sure that you have access to the best possible care that you can in your area and that you're going to be able to see a doctor and seek medical help when you need it. Number 8, the financial element. Can you afford to move to your dream location in retirement? Have you done your maths? Have you done the sums? I think, again, a lot of us can get a bit starry-eyed when we want something and we don't actually consider the finances of it. Moving in retirement can be quite pricey and it can come with a lot of additional costs, especially if you require care help, help to maintain the property. You might have higher rental costs. So really do sit down with your sums, get a family member or trusted friend to help you go through everything to make sure that this option is definitely affordable for you.
But it's absolute.
Number 9, that is, consider if you need to downsize. What we've seen is that people definitely tend to want to downsize in retirement. Perhaps the family have left the home, perhaps you don't need as much space as you once did. Consider downsizing. Not only will that help with the general running costs of the house, like gas and electric, utilities and that kind of thing, but it's also less to maintain, so it's easy for you to run. And a lot of people do tend to downsize when it comes to retirement, just to make their lives easier. So think about this option and whether it's right for you. And number 10, and this is equally as important as all the ones that I've mentioned today, if not one of the most important, and that is, will you be happy and supported in your new environment? Think about what you need to lead a happy life. Think about what you need in regards to support, in regards to company, in regards to security and confidence. All of these things are going to play a key part as to whether you're going to be happy in your new home. So consider what you need, make sure that you're supported to make your move as successful as possible. And that's our 10 tips. We hope you find them helpful and they give you something to consider. We're going to be writing a blog post on this topic, so if you want a bit more detail, stay tuned for that. It's coming very, very soon, and thank you so much for watching.